jamming. Open up your heart and let me in. Welcome to Christian Fantasy Sports. Told you I'm going to start putting some videos back out, so we try to get a little bit done every day. I made 2 videos last day, but I haven't edited them yet, but still going to keep rolling them out. Get on the editing process this afternoon, but Super Bowl's rolling in. Not really interested in overly talking about what everybody's already talking about, but in our preparation for next year, because this is fantasy sports along with Christian biblical teachings, thought we'd start getting our homework for next year. So rather than talk about the obvious players, which I thought we'd talk about a couple of players that I'd be interested in seeing. People we start thinking about our dynasty drafts for those people who are in those leagues that think drafting in April is funny. And I'm in one of them. I don't get it, but we're conquerors of the world. We know everything before everybody. So, we're going to talk about wide receiver from TCU, Salvin Williams. 6'5", 225 pounds. This. Can I say that again? 6'5", 225 pounds. The thing that's funny about this guy is, in the last 2 years, he's only had a combined 106 receptions. Only had 6 receptions this year. But he also had 600 yards. He's averaging 10 yards per reception. Then you turn around on the flip side in his rushing yards. Yes, wide receiver, rushing yards. This year he had 51 carries for 322 yards and averages 6.3 yards per carry. Last year, every year I do this, I try to identify that not a screaming off everybody's board kind of person. For me, it's the analytics, what this guy looks like. I'm just interested to see how this guy's going to play in the Senior Bowl and who he drafts this guy, what round he goes in, and can he stay hidden. Now, if I'm putting it out there, it's not exactly hidden, is it? But who's watching my videos right now? I haven't even edited this, but who's watching it? I saw one video had 16 people viewed it. Yes! Thank you, 16 people. I hope you got something from it from biblically. And anyway, this is one of those gems we should be thinking about. We're supposed to be doing our homework ahead of time. We're not supposed to be waiting till this summer and we grab the magazines and we start listening last second. No, we need to be ahead of the game. And everybody's going to be screaming about Gentry, of course. Why shouldn't they? But here's another guy. Hampton, running back. Why am I hesitant? Because there's a part of me that doesn't want to talk about this guy because I don't want my friends actually paying attention to this and then speaking about it. But we're talking about 6 foot, 220 pounds. That's a big back. With a big back that size, you'd think, goal line back. Well, when you score a buttload of touchdowns, they'll view you that way. But he also had 281 carries for 616 yards this year. The last 2 years, he had 29 receptions and 38 receptions. Not exactly something you need to ignore. Doesn't exactly sound like a guy who's totally a goal line back, because usually that's the prototype. You get a big guy, big tall guy, and he scores touchdowns. We'll make him a goal line back. We'll make him an early down back. With these kind of statistics, this to me screams 3-down player. Why am I talking about Hampton? Well, because everybody else is not, and maybe we should be. This is this early homework that we have to be doing to stay ahead of everybody else. So, Marion Hampton is somebody that we should be thinking about. The only thing about, I'm a little skeptic because every time I go for these North Carolina backs, they burn me. and I'm still a big fan of Javonte Williams. Caroline backs burn me because they look so fantastic in college, but this is part of it. This is early preparation for the upcoming season. So these are names we're just kicking around right now. Now, why are we talking about Amari Hampton? Because it's early, so we need to do our homework, and we need to know the value we can expect to pay for him, and what's the vibe on the street with everybody else. How much are they paying attention to this? Now, this is supposed to be the year of the running back, which is why I started out with the wide receiver, and then maybe the episode I was thinking about talk about some tight end, maybe a little Penn State tight end. So this is part of the homework preparation we're going to have to do is pay attention specifically with the Senior Bowl coming up. People are going to start turning their brains off, and they're going to focus on the Super Bowl party, and then they're pretty much going to forget about fantasy football until August. And this is where we separate ourselves. We're going to do fantasy football, and we're going to talk about it all year. We're going to break down a couple players here and there. But we're also going to do some biblical work. And today we're going to talk about Hebrews 4:16. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence. Be assured, not because of what you did, because what Christ did on the cross for you. That's where your assurance comes from, and your faith and your acceptance of Him. Not because there's anything special about us. We're messy, we're dirty, we're disgusting, we're nasty. We got everything wrong with us. We are imperfect. God's grace is sufficient. He paid the price. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence. So now we're confident because we know that He's paid the price, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. It's like it makes me think about the painting, the poem, Footsteps. You know, it's you see the two sets of footsteps in the sand, and then the person looks back. They only see one, and they're like, God, why were you not with me in my time of need when I needed you the most? And because they look back, they only see the one set of footsteps and the footprints, and they think that God had left them. And what was really going on is there was only one set of footsteps or footprints, is because God was carrying them. Yeah. It's not many things that we can do on our own well. If we're doing it for the right reason, we're doing it for the kingdom. So we're gonna continue to make videos. I'm still trying to find my footing again. I actually started to find my footing when I made videos earlier, and then I got so wrapped up in doing things in my house, and I wanted to start getting to the videos, and I have to find these odd times and hours. Like if you're in the background, I got my little mic over here, but I haven't got my system together because my grandson has hijacked my computer again, which is killing me. So I'm gonna have to get me a new desktop out here. I'm redoing the studio again for like the 4th time. So, but I'm trying to keep it short. Little fantasy football, some dynasty nuggets coming up of a one not so obvious player in Williams, but then to me, it's not so obvious. Hampton's, I guess you'd say, is the obvious. He's on everybody's board. He's either 2, 3, or 4 rookie running back coming off the board for you. Obviously, Gentry's 1 on everybody's boards. For me, it's landing spots. You know, Brian Thomas was big for me last year because it was besides the talent, which is why, the speed, the hands, the touchdowns, coming from a vintage school, and then everybody being focused on Odunze. Not that I wasn't focused on him either, But the scenario dictated to us that Thomas was the guy to look at for me. Him and McConkey, and McConkey really poured on in the end, which is another reason I'm looking at Salvin Williams. It's just 6'5", 225. Can't ignore it. Can't ignore it. And so let's see how he does with the big boys in the Senior Bowl. Otherwise, stay humble, stay focused. Remember, the kingdom's at hand, and that's why we're going to do these videos. And I'm going to get better. Right now, I'm just trying to stick to my commitment of telling myself I got to put them out. And I'm freelancing this. I'm just winging it as I go. And the videos will get better, but I got to put verses out every day. Just remember what the verse talks about: be confident in our walk. Don't get distracted in the things that you've done wrong that like to weigh you down. That's the next video I'm going to talk to you about, is a story from our 21 days of prayer and day 20. Yeah, day 20 is the story that most hit me the most, or about compartmentally. I'm having a meltdown on camera. It's great. Compartmentalizing. You did it. You did it. You got over the hump. Compartmentalizing our lives and keeping things hidden from God, even though they're not hidden. Anyway, like and subscribe if you want. No, actually, like and subscribe. You should. And Dave, I hope you're paying attention, because, hey, I won your league. That's right, Dave. You can like and say, hey, he's not lying. Won your league. Matter of fact, dominated from the beginning to the end. Okay, here comes the ego. Anyway, Christian Fantasy Sports. We love you guys. I want you to continue to watch all 16 views. Maybe it gets 17. That would be the goal. 17. And also got to remember giverofhope.org. Always going to plug giverofhope.org, and my friend Carmel, who's going back to Haiti, and we want to get the 2,000 people to do $5.25 a month. That would be great. Giverofhope.org. And this is Christian Fantasy Sports. The only fantasy here is sports, because God is real. See ya!